make sure that Google isn't going to do what it is naturally going to do, which is I'm going to spend your budget.
Hi there and welcome to From Ideas to Results. I'm joined by Chris from our data team here at Sleeping Giant Media, and we're going to explore all the things happening in the world of data. We're going to focus on technology's role in digital marketing with the view or the lens of AI. So could you give us a little bit of an introduction to the past? What did tech provide as a value then?
For years, you've been able to programmatically make changes, optimize things like bids and budgets, and those levers have always been there. It's developed much more comprehensively to allow bid adjustments, more recently things like smart bidding, and that's when machine learning started to come in. So that's when the platform started saying, tell me what your objectives are, and I'll optimize towards them. So it might be, I want to optimize conversions, to ROAS, to impression share, because I want to be able to own the space. And those tools have dominated for some time, and they've also been very difficult to lay on top of. So we were going in and making changes around ad copy, around budgets, but it was really making the decisions when it came to what is the specific bid for this person. More recently, there's now the opportunities to add additional layering. So add bid increments against that existing budget and say, in this geographic area, I want to go up or down, or based off of some other demographic. There are now AI tools that can help support you and do some of that for you.
Google's historically they created a platform that allowed everyone to kind of go in and do most of the things themselves. And gradually over the last 15-ish years, that's become very different, where they don't necessarily, like the platform does some of the work for us as well. And how does tech sort of work alongside that, where now actually most of the time you want to, at the moment, let Google do a lot of that sort of decision making for you?
Yeah, so I would have said probably a year ago, we would have said, just let Google do it. Like we pull all the other levers, and when it comes to auction level bidding, only Google can do that, or only Facebook can do that. We can now add additional layering onto that so that it is still doing that, but we are giving it more signal.
Looking to the future, what do you think is likely to sort of evolve and change? How do we get better performance going forward in sort of taking paid as an example, using the sort of the tools that are available, and how those will evolve?
I think it's all about signals. So as AI, machine learning, whatever, it's all about giving that tool signals. So when it comes to things like smart bidding, we want the platform to make those decisions because it has so many more signals. It is going to have a much better understanding of that specific user in that specific auction. And we can use external tools to add additional layers on top of that, and also make sure that Google isn't going to do what it is naturally going to do, which is I'm going to spend your budget. Some of those external tools can make adjustments and say, well, actually there's certain areas where I don't want you to do that. And then the human in the loop is coming in and just overseeing that, and so it's not doing crazy things. I mean, there are certain tools out there that can write ad copy. I think there's a lot of close eyes on that sort of thing, and you'd have to be quite comfortable with it, trying and doing all sorts of things that maybe you're not aware of or find out about later. So as you can start feeding in, here's the phrases I'm comfortable with you using, here's the things you need to avoid, here's my brand guidelines, it's going to get even better at those sorts of things.
So circling us back, obviously, sort of your role in data and insight, it sounds like it's becoming ever more important to make sure that the data infrastructure is correct, because again, rubbish in, rubbish out.
All about feeding that machine better quality information that the machine has, whether that's layering, whether that's revenue data, that is all going to help it make better decisions.
But those are the things happening in the world of data, focusing on tech and the way that is changing and shifting in its dynamic AI world. Still really important, but I think the key takeaway, the learning, I guess, is making sure that the data infrastructure is correct in your business. If you can't put the right information in, you're not going to get the right information out. So that is going to be a central point for you right now, but also going forward. Thanks very much. If you found that content useful, do check out all of our socials and our website. There'll be loads more on all the different areas of digital marketing, and we'll see you again next time.